Hi guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here again to have another play with my jelly plate, and so far I've only used it to play with the alcohol inks, but I wanted to come back and have a bit more of a play using my acrylic paints. I haven't ever done this before, so again we're going to be on a bit of an explore sort of mission together. I know I said last time, I mean I really should practice these things when it's, you know, it's just me, but hey, I don't. So we'll just be learning together. Oops, now I've got my acrylic paint box stuck completely onto the jelly plate. Right, it's off now. So these are just some Dahlia and Brownie acrylic paints, and I just bought mine from the range. And I have to say, unfortunately, my box is all split, but I've had these for a few weeks now. But yes, like I say, I haven't ever actually used them on my jelly plate before. I've also got some of those little Brian metallic paint sticks, which I'd seen on Joey DeFee's channel. May or may not use these, not sure yet. And then I'm going to be using just some old 12 by 12 scrapbook papers, you know, that I don't kind of plan on using anytime soon. Well, or ever again. So I'm just going to cut those down so that they're slightly smaller and easier to use. You know, so just, yeah, just going to cut them down sort of roughly like A4-ish size. They don't have to be perfect because I can obviously tidy them up after, but I just want to get them to a bit more of a manageable sort of size like that. Okay, and actually I'm just going to trim them slightly at the edge because of course these are now slightly longer than a 12 than a, you know, an A4 sheet of paper, so it's just a bit more of a manageable size now to use. And obviously, you know, these are just plain white on the back, so I'm thinking this is a good use of that 12 by 12 papers that I'm not going to use anymore. And then what I've brought along my stencils, and I've got a variety of different stencils here. So again, I've watched other people where they use stencils with their jelly plate. Like I say, I have not done this before. It may be successful, it may be a complete disaster, but we'll just play around and see what we can come up with. So let's just get started straight away. What type of colours shall we go for? Shall we do some sort of reds and pinks, I'm thinking. So let's just put some blobs on. Oh wow, that's like fire engine red. Okay, so that's very bright. Yep. Okay, let's put some of this pink on. The pink's really pretty. Okay. And yeah, let's do, actually I'm thinking let's spread that around now. Just spread it all over the entire jelly plate. And then I'm going to go over it with some, you know, some paler. So yeah, I probably should move my plate slightly because it's not got that much room over there. It's just kind of hitting into the mess that is all over my desk. So yeah, okay, right. I must stop pressing my brayer so hard. I'm really heavy-handed and I press the brayer really hard, and then I get obviously the streaks from like the edge of the brayer, and I haven't really seen that happening with other people. So I'm thinking that's definitely a user error thing on my part. Right, okay, let's put some whites down. Oops. And thank you so much to everyone who said about the poking the ends into the, you know, to open the little jars. Why that had not occurred to me before is beyond me, but honestly I did laugh about it the other day actually with my mum and my sister, and they kind of just said, oh, what's wrong with you? And you know, I'm actually embarrassed to tell you this story, but the reason why it came up was because for Christmas my mum had bought us all one of those beauty advent calendars from Boots. It just happened to be from the shop called Boots. And in that calendar, I'm going to try now put in, actually no, I'm going to first of all try just taking some of that paint off, you know, lifting some onto the paper. Yeah, and in the calendar was a lipstick, and it looked like a great big giant pencil. So she, you know, I had that, and it was quite a nice colour. Well, that's very bright, isn't it? So I'm going to leave that to one side, hopefully to dry. Let's put down a stencil. Let's just take that one. Yeah, so in it was this sort of pencil looking, what do you call it? Pencil looking lipstick. So I happened to be talking about it with my sister because obviously my mum had bought us all one of these, you know, advent calendars. And my sister said something about it being a nice colour. And I said, yeah, you know, it's quite a nice colour. But to be honest, I can't find a pencil sharpener that actually fits it. And she said, what are you talking about? Do you not just twist the end like a normal lipstick? Well, I didn't know what to say. I said, oh, maybe. Or when I looked at it, oh my gosh, how gorgeous does that look? Oh, I'm loving how that looks. I mean, it's a bit of a shame about the edges, but I wonder if I could kind of disguise them a bit like this. Yeah, she said, well, don't you just twist it like you do any other lipstick? So I said, oh, I don't know. So, of course, then I had a look at it. And, of course, at the end was this kind of like twisty bit where you could twist it. I mean, I know it sounds like the most ridiculous thing on the planet, but honestly, it had not occurred to me that that was what that end bit was for. I just thought it was showing the colour. And, you know, I had been trying to obviously jam it into my, you know, my pencil sharpener, which is effectively an eyeliner pencil sharpener. And it's got like the two sizes. So like the thin eyeliner pencil, and then, you know, you used to get those really fat eyeliner pencils. I don't even know if you still do. So I've been trying to kind of jam it into there, but it was too big. So I've been trying to kind of like jam it against the blade bit of the, oh, look at that. It's quite nice, isn't it? And then I think what I might do, so I'll just go back over this like this. Yeah, anyway, so, you know, I'd been trying to kind of jam it into there and, you know, kind of sharpen it like that. I mean, I don't know why it hadn't really occurred to me to even try twisting the end. I just thought the end was to show the colour. I didn't realise it was a twisty bit. And my mum and my sister said, what's wrong with you? Why do you think that way? I said, I've no idea. Things, you know, that seem very, very obvious to some people, just, they don't really occur to me for some reason. So, yeah, we did kind of laugh. But honestly, that's just kind of par for the course, I think, with me. I just don't seem to kind of quite see things sometimes that are actually pretty obvious. Let's go in with a little bit of this green. I know I'm going really off at a tangent, and I have to say that orange is really bothering me. It's very, very, very bright, so I really need to tone this down. Now, I'm not sure whether you can use water on the jelly plate. I have to say, I don't feel like I've seen other people use water, but you know, when you've watched so many videos, I don't know about you guys, but it gets to the point where they all just merge in, and I can no longer really remember what I've seen and what I haven't seen. So I'm feeling a little bit like that. Like I've seen so many that, you know, it's just become a bit of a blur. Let's just do that. Okay. Yeah, just sometimes, you know, things that seem so very obvious to normal people just don't seem to occur to me. So, and so then I happened to say to them about those little paints and said, you know, oh, embarrassingly, you know, this is what I did. And I was kind of trying to open the paints. And I said, you know, actually, the joke of it is, I mean, it's just like opening, obviously, like a tin of tomato puree or something like that, which, of course, you just poke that end in. And, you know, that's just pretty obvious, isn't it, to a normal person? But for some reason, it just hadn't really occurred to me. So, yeah, we did chuckle. I was just like, oh, my gosh, what? I don't know why, but just sometimes, like, the most obvious things just don't really seem to kind of, like, sink in. Right, this stencil is obviously made from, like, thicker plastic, so it's, yeah, it's slightly harder to get the... Oh, my gosh, look at how gorgeous that looks. Just going to go over it again here, actually. So that hopefully I get a bit of a mixture of the two. Oh my goodness, how beautiful does that look? I love how that looks. Yeah, anyway, you know, so It's not just these paints that I was that sort of ridiculous with. Obviously that ridiculous about so many things. So yeah, you know, the lipstick, I mean, just endlessly will go down as, oh my goodness, what is wrong with that woman? Just didn't even occur to me. Didn't even occur to me to twist that lipstick round. Okay. I mean, now I know, obviously, it's fantastic. Oh my gosh, look at how gorgeous that looks. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, the only thing is I have got a lot of white space in this, so I'm just going to try to see whether, you know, what happens if I kind of just dab it straight on from here. Ooh. Getting some quite nice effects. I mean, I'm not going through the stencil, if you see what I mean, but it is picking up a little bit of paint from what's left on the stencil. So, yeah. Okay, well, mixed results there. I'm thinking kind of, you know, definitely needing more practice with that. Yeah, definitely need more practice. Let's go in again. Okay, let's go in again, because what I'm thinking is, you know, that first one that we did that came out so very, you know, very bright. Kind of thinking, let's go, whoops, let's go over with that, or yeah, over that very bright colour. Try and get rid of some of that bright colour. And do you know what? I'm kind of tempted now to do a bit of black, because when that just picked up a little bit of the black that had obviously been on here previously, how gorgeous did that look? Or do we think black's a bit too harsh? Perhaps I should have gone with brown. Oops, that was white. Sorry, that was white, my mistake. Okay, let's go with brown, because I think perhaps black is a bit too out there. Okay. The worst of it is, you know, I said to my sisters and my mum, the worst of it is, to be honest, I've got a memory like a sieve, and so it wouldn't have surprised me if then when I came to use these, I forgot all about that little thing again. So, you know, it's only by a miracle that I'm even remembering to actually do it like that now. I mean, thankfully I am remembering, but yeah. My mum said, I don't know. She said, maybe you're just not a very sort of practical person. Well, first of all, she said logical. And I said, well, the weird thing is I am a really logical person. You know, I would say that's where my strengths are, is logic, you know. So why that logic kind of just eluded me, I have no idea. But right. Okay, so we've got quite a lot of different pattern on there. I don't know how this is going to pick up on that paper, but let's give it a try. So I'm hoping that this is dryish now. Okay. And again, I have seen people go over this then with the brayer to really kind of like get it pressed down. Obviously, my brayer is messy. I mean, I think people tend to use a clean dry brayer, but hey, you know, I'm never that prepared. So let's just go over with our inky one, or our, you know, our painty one that we have been using. I don't know what this is going to look like. I'm hoping it's going to pick up some pattern. Oh, looking pretty good. Pretty good. I'm still feeling this needs a lot more toning down, because wow, it's like very bright compared to how I wanted it. So I'm going to go on, I think, with a bit more white. Yeah, definitely a lot more white. So let's go over that again. Shall we do more of the, you know, this one? So this is the Tim Holtz Harlequin kind of stencil. I do love this one, I must say. Yeah, I love Harlequin patterns. They're just so lovely, aren't they? So let's just go over there. Okie dokie. Not too worried, you know, if I've got kind of marks and things, you know, we're not looking for perfection. I mean, perhaps some people would be, but definitely, yeah, I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just looking to just try and achieve anything at this point. So, okay, let's just go over there. Okay, and then I'm going to take this, you know, swirly one. Let's just go over it like that. Okay. So we're definitely putting a lot of different layers on here, which, I mean, again, this is kind of different technique to, you know, how I used the inks. Okay, let's just try a little bit more there. Okay, let's just have a couple of really bright white sort of patches, just every so often. Okay. Oh, that looks scrummy, doesn't it? Right, let's try again with that really bright orange. See if we can really tone it right back down again. So, I mean, again, you know, maybe I'm not going to be able to get this toned down now. Maybe it's just going to stay very bright orange now. And perhaps, yeah, perhaps I'll have to give up. You know, I mean, I could always, I guess, go over it with some gesso and, you know, tone it down that way. Let's have a look. It's gradually toning down a little bit. Gradually. You know, it's a very slow process, admittedly, but... Right, let's try it with the swirly background first. And then we'll put some dashes of maybe the Harlequin. I've also got some letters here. Do you know, I'm thinking perhaps I should have gone right over with some... Let's do this. Get lots of white. Yeah, okay. Because we want to try and just really tone that orange right back down, okay? I mean, to be honest, I guess this is the beauty of this, is it doesn't matter, does it? If we kind of cover things up, we can just redo the whole process. So I must try and bear that in mind, because I'm very bad for kind of, you know, I get to a point and then I think, oh, I don't want to ruin it, you know, and actually I think the point is we can just keep going over until we're happy. So I'm just kind of reworking with that first original sheet. Still not toning down very much, is it? No, got to be said, it's not coming down very much. Right, let's go in with some pale pink. Do you know, I just really want to spray some water, and I wish that I had checked now whether you can do that. I know loads of you are going to be writing in the comments, you know, either a yes or a no, whether you can or you can't. But yeah, because I can't sort of recall whether I've seen people using water, I'm too scared to actually use some, just in case I can't. So yeah, let's do it like that. And actually now I've just had a bit of an idea. So I'm going to do this. Okay, we're going to go back on with our very bright paper. Again, just get that pushed down. Okay. Oh, that's better, isn't it? We are toning that right back now. So I'm just going to go in again, just like on the edges, to try and tone those edges down. So we've got that edge there. Whoops. Try and get that, and then this one. Okay. Right. Okay, so I mean that's much more toned down, obviously, compared to how it was. It probably could still come down a bit more, but hey, we'll just leave it like that. So I'm going to do the same with this one, which was that second one that we did. So again, just trying to tone it right down. This is where I definitely wish that I had got a much bigger quantity of the white and the pink, but never mind. Okay, let's just spread this right around. Okay, right, let's go back in with this. So again, I'm thinking, you know, kind of get it down like this, and then I'm going to just dab in any of the edges which need a bit more touching over. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? Yeah, I'm quite liking that. So just go over that edge. over this edge here, because I'm just, you know, trying to just get all of the edges covered so that I haven't really got any sort of really bright bits left. So just take that bit. Okay. And then here, just got this edge now. Oops. Okay. Oh dear, come on. Okay. Right. That one is really nice. I, yeah, much prefer this one, it's got to be said. Okay, so what I'm thinking is, let's take our little Brian paint sticks. And I'm thinking, because these are metallic, these paint sticks, and I'm thinking, shall we go on with some of these? So I've got the brown and the green. I don't know if this is going to work. It's all wing and a prayer stuff here. So let's go on with, yeah, let's go on with some of the green. I mean, these are quite dry, so, you know, they might not really kind of want to go on very well. I don't know. So I'm going to do that and then see if that will kind of brayer over a little bit. I don't know really whether that's smudging in, but I mean, it looks like it is, to be honest. But I want it patchy so it's got, you know, different textures, so, or different coloration. So let's just go over there like that. Okay. Yeah, let's just do a little bit down here. So I mean, this is now sideways on instead of, you know, the same way up. So we're really mixing this up now. Okay. Yeah, liking how that looks. And then what I'm thinking is go in with that swirly one just over the top in some patches with the brown. Oops, that brown's got a bit of purple on it, so just pull that off because I don't really want the purple. Okay. Let's just check how that's looking. I mean, again, you know, maybe I could have done with actually watering these, you know, watering these down. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's kind of where I would have been better off, but, you know, we'll see how these go. So, got those, a little bit more here. Okay, maybe a bit over here. And then I have actually got a white paint stick, so I'm just going to get that. Oh, I don't know how this is going to be. It thinks it's white metallic. I've not used this one yet, so let's see. Obviously this is how to mess my paint sticks up, really. Okay, let's go in here. Oh, I'm loving how that looks. Right. Okay. Oh my gosh, that looks gorgeous, doesn't it? Right. How this is actually going to look in the flesh, who knows? That's fingers crossed. And again, you know, I don't know really how those little Brian paints are going to pick up on the paper. They might not really come up at all. So it's all just trial and error to see whether this is going to work or not. I'm kind of thinking I can squirt water on this because, I mean, obviously everything we're putting on here is wet, isn't it? Oh my goodness, look at how gorgeous that looks. That is scrumptious, isn't it? I love how that looks. So I might just go in again, like to try and again get it, you know, along those edges. So like that. So as I don't have suddenly big plain edges. So let's just pick some up like that. Oh, that is so pretty. I mean, it's very mottled, but I really love that look, to be honest. That's really, really nice. You know, very kind of delicate looking with no, you know, actual, you know, like you can't necessarily make out the Harlequin pattern, just a little bit here, but the rest of it's quite mottled looking and quite subtle, which I absolutely love. So let me just move this out of the way slightly. just want to go in like on this patch. So let's just pop that down here. Oh, fingers crossed. Oh, I love how that looks. That is scrumptious, isn't it? I really, really love how that looks. Okay, so I mean, that was kind of successful, to be honest. Yeah, I quite like the effects that we got there. So let's do a bit more. Again, using those little Brian paint sticks. So let's go back in with the green again. How gorgeous is this colour green? It's like a sort of jadey, emeraldy, jadey emeraldy colour. It's really scrumptious, isn't it? Yeah, I really love it. Okay, let's pull that up. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't go over that with the brayer at all. So now it looks quite, you know, like defined. It's got like a sort of definition to it. Let's go over it here with the brayer. And this, you know, this should turn out quite different looking. Yeah, can you see the kind of difference between them? And then let's put some down here. Again, just, you know, with the paint stick. Just going all around. Okay, oh dear. Okay. Loving how that looks. And then, yeah, let's bring in that brown again. Because, yeah, I liked the brown and the green and the white. I think they look really good together. So we're just going to go in with some of the brown. I mean, these are metallic, like I say. I'm not necessarily thinking that the metallic is that visible. I'm not saying it's not visible, but, you know, I wouldn't necessarily say it's very visible, to be honest. But, yeah. I don't know whether they do these paint sticks not metallic, you know, in a not metallic version. But, yeah. I mean, it's nice to have the metallic ones, I guess, isn't it? Let's just pop this one down here. Okay, and then just a bit just there. Maybe another little bit here. Oh, how gorgeous does that look? It's so scrumptious, isn't it? Now, again, do I go back in with another sheet, or shall I go back in, you know, with this one? Which obviously is quite white in the background. So let's go back in with this and see what this looks like. I'm thinking this probably is going to look rubbish because it's not really got any background colour. It needs a sort of background colour, doesn't it? So, yeah, I'm thinking this is not going to be all that successful, but we'll see. Oh my gosh. Not successful at all. In fact, just one hideous big mess. Right, okay, so let's try and tone that down. Just before I do, I'm just going to go over with another sheet of, you know, this is a fresh sheet now, so we're gradually kind of like integrating more and more sheets. Oops. Yeah, I really like those little Brian paints, with the, you know, on the jelly plate. Oh, I love how that looks. That's super scrumptious, isn't it? Right. Going to go in with some water now. Oh, fingers crossed that this is not going to, you know, ruin my jelly plate. So, oh, feeling very, very nervous. Okay. Well, it's definitely sort of resistant, you know, to the water. I can kind of see it spreading around a bit. So, yeah, it's, I don't know. I don't know what I think, to be honest, whether this is just not really a technique that I'm supposed to have done. But what I'm going to do is put this one back down with the water because I really don't like how this is looking at all. So let's try and put it down here first. And then we'll do it like one end at a time. So we'll do this to about the halfway point. Oh, it's not looking any better so far, is it? Nope. Nope. Okay, let's put it down here. There. No, I need more. So oh, what do we think? I mean, I'm thinking it needs a lot of toning down here. So let's go for some more white. These are probably not the best acrylic paints to use. I mean, I probably would have been better off using my like little, you know, more like tubs of acrylic paint, because, you know, this is probably a very, very extravagant way to use these, to be honest. So yeah, a kind of lesson learned there for next time is, you know, don't necessarily use these acrylic paints because they're not the best for this, you know, this type of thing. Right, I'm going to mix in a little bit of this. Now, again, you know, not done any of this before, so it's, you know, wing and a prayer and very much experimentation to see how this is going to actually work. Oops, or if at all. Oops, let's just pop this down. Maybe onto the prayer. No. So, I mean, you can probably see there's barely any green coming off on there at all. So, yeah, it's not really kind of worked quite how I'd hoped. So, yep, that's not a technique, obviously, that's going to work with those. Okay, let me just see back into my acrylic paints, and let's just grab another green. Because obviously, you know, we've kind of been using the green and the brown, so I'm feeling we need a bit more green perhaps in there. Okie dokie. Well, that looks a bit better, doesn't it? So, yeah. Okay. So what I might do is just place this down now, first of all. And then we'll kind of go over it again. I know my brayer is very messy now to be going over the back of this paper, but hey, that's how it goes, isn't it? You know, once I get further into the video, I kind of forget all the rules and, you know, just start winging it completely. So yeah, being super messy now. Thank goodness I've got gloves on today. Okay, so I mean, that looks quite pretty, to be honest. I'm quite liking that. Just want to pick up some of the paint now onto the edges because they're looking still quite white. You know, we can still see white paper. A bit more here. And then I'm just going to kind of leave this one to dry for a bit. But yeah, I mean, that's quite pretty, isn't it? So let's leave that to dry, and then here, let's pop down a little bit more of the white. I wonder what would happen if I go in with the little Brian paint sticks now. Right, let's try and mix that in a bit with the brayer. Okay. So, I mean, this should hopefully be very pale, much more muted. I mean, I am a very heavy-handed person, so, I mean, obviously, you know, my colours seem to be coming out very, very, very dark and, you know, deep compared to other videos that I've watched using the brayer and the jelly plate. I think that's just because I'm very heavy-handed with the paint, and, you know, I'm probably not then brayering enough, you know, to take enough paint off. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I guess the more I play, hopefully, the better I'm going to get at this. So let's go down with this one. I say hopefully because, I mean, let's face it, there's no guarantee that I'm actually going to improve, but hopefully I'm going to improve. So oh, that one's much better. Look at that one. That is scrumptious, isn't it? Much, much better. So yeah, I'm thinking very heavy-handed, obviously, in the other ones. So yeah, I need to go a lot lighter for the future. You know, for future kind of reference, I need to go in a lot lighter with a lot less paint, really, by the looks of things. So, I mean, that one is absolutely yummy, isn't it? Love how that looks. Right. Okay, so that being the case, let's go and see if we can just spread what's left. Oh, there's really barely anything on there, to be honest. I thought we might have just about had enough, but yeah, I don't think there's really enough on there at all. So let me just put a little bit more white down. And then I'm just going to go back in with that green one, you know, the brighter green that we did just now, this one, and try and pick up a little bit fainter, you know, kind of or, you know, tone it down slightly more. And then hopefully do a little bit of stenciling over there. So yeah, let's kind of tone it down a bit by just hopefully pressing it in here. So let's just go like that. Right, okay. And put this down. Let's really hope for the best. Okay. It's toned it down a little bit. I mean, not as much as I'd hoped, it's got to be said, but you know, it's definitely toned down slightly. What do we think? Do we think we can go in a bit more? Maybe with those little brown. In fact, let's do the stenciling in predominantly white, shall we? And try and do it that way. So let's take this. I mean, it's a bit boring because I'm just using the same old stencils each time, but okay, so we're going to just go in with this. Now, obviously, this is kind of coming out with some green on it because, of course, we've got the green from last time. So like that. And then let's just go in here. Okay. Again, you know, I'm really being very, you know, very rough and ready. I'm really not being very neat and tidy with this at all. So, oops. Just need to kind of, yeah, get this down like this. Okay, like that. Oh, that looks nice, doesn't it? And then now for the swirly ones, just want to put some swirlies over. Oh, look how lovely that stencil looks. I mean, you couldn't achieve that colour if you tried, could you? Let's see if we can do some really bright white with the swirl. And then maybe just a little touch of brown. So maybe a bit of brown up here or something. Like that. And then just go in here. So I just want it to look quite, you know, quite eclectic. I don't want to have a sort of, you know, uniformy look to this at all. Like that. And then let's go back in with the white. Oh my gosh, which is now obviously brown. So yeah, this is this is not really kind of working great, but okay. So let's just see how that one looks so far. So I'm going to go back in, I think, with this. I mean, I probably should be leaving these to dry between going in and out, to be honest, but you know, let's just do it. So like that. Okay. Oh, fingers crossed. I'm really hoping for the best here. Okay, so you can probably see, I mean, it's actually not picked up a great deal. I mean, obviously it's picked up more of the brown, not a great deal of the white. So I'm thinking maybe spray a bit of water to like loosen it. Because obviously those little Brian paints, you know, they're not like an acrylic paint or anything. They're, you know, they're much more kind of gentle than that. So let's go back in now. Back over with our brayer. Okay, let's see how that looks. Not sure. Not sure that this is quite working, to be honest. Right, let's come back in with this one here. So again, I'm going to just wet this paint. I'm thinking that this paint's not really kind of lifting much on the, you know, with the jelly plate. So it might just be that those little Brian paints, you know, I mean, they did kind of work previously, didn't they? But, oh, I don't know. Oh, look at that now. That looks gorgeous. So let's just go up there. Okay, I'm just kind of filling in those edge pieces where, you know, it didn't pick up much of the paler colour. We just got this one here. Oh, I love how that looks. What do you guys think? That's so pretty, isn't it? Oh, I'm loving those. Right, so I will probably have to call it quits there for today, but definitely like food for thought and more kind of things to play with here. So I'm going to come back and we will have more of a play with this when I've got a bit more time, maybe do some different colours and things like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely loving these two, definitely my favourite. How gorgeous do they look? This one, not sure, it maybe needs a bit more work. But I do really like this one actually as well that we did. It's really pretty, isn't it? So yeah, I mean, I really hope that you like the pieces that we've done so far. And as I say, we will come back and we will do a bit more using our stencils, maybe using the paint sticks and things like that, and see what else we can achieve. So I hope that this has given you some ideas and some inspiration, and hopefully see you guys soon. Thanks then. Bye.